Okay, this is little Venus, and I just woke her up. So it's going to take her just a few seconds to get going, and I'm going to try not to move because sure enough as I do, she's going to get really active and it's going to be hard to get any good footage of her. But she is definitely one day going to be a star because she's got such light peach markings on her, and she's got very beautiful crescents, and she's got a strong iridescence to her, and it's getting stronger as she ages. She is the smallest one of the group. She only weighs 144 grams. So she was a very, very picky eater. And, but she's starting to do a lot better. It was a photograph of her on Will Bird's website at ectotherms.net that made me want to get a rainbow. Something about her cute little face I just couldn't resist, and before I knew it, I was driving up to Louisville to pick out her and another rainbow. Of course, he can ship reptiles, and he probably prefers that, but knowing me, I wanted to go pick mine out in person, and he was okay with that. I made an appointment, and we set up a time, and I drove up to Kentucky and picked up little Venus here, and Vicious. But there she is, so you can kind of see how big she is. And when I brought her home, she was about 60 grams, and I think Vicious was about 68. And, of course, Valentine come from somebody else, and she was already about over 150 grams when I got her, so. There's her cute little face, and I just fell in love with it the moment I saw her in a photograph and had to have her. She's actually been surprisingly calm. Maybe she realizes she's on TV, or as close to TV as she's gonna get. It's YouTube television. I just love her so much. She's a really light-colored rainbow boa, and her mother was an extremely high orange snake, so I expect her to be very vibrant orange as she ages. So, very happy to have her. Now, she's very long. She's just not too thick. She's awake, so she's going to start moving, and we may not get any good footage of her anymore. She's got the taste of freedom right now, so she's waking up rather fast. Okay, this is Vicious, and he is my male rainbow boa. And he doesn't have a lot of red coloring yet. I'm hoping some of it will intensify as he gets older, because they do color up as they get older sometimes. And he does have a beautiful contrast trim, like the pattern on his back in between the really dark markings, so he's very beautiful. He is pretty rambunctious, so it's going to be hard to get any good shots of him. He's like a blazing thunder here, you see that? He doesn't want to settle down. We're going to hold him a little bit and let you look at him slower. I'm letting him crawl through my fingers, but a little slowly. But you can look, he has almost perfect crescents on his sides. And that's why I picked him. And because he was very, very, very iridescent. The camera doesn't show it very well. But on all the dark colors, I mean, it just radiates a blue flash as he moves. And so he's just extremely beautiful. Even though he doesn't have as much of a reddish or orangish color, but he does have a lot of contrast on his body. Now he is just a year old, and he is 221 grams. Will Bird told me that it's better to grow them a little slower, especially when they're younger, because their bodies are very long and thin and they can't handle anything too big around because it could cause them to regurge. So I've been feeding him very slowly, and now he's up to adult mice. And when he gets to the 300 gram mark, I'm going to move him over to very small rats. That's what I did with Valentine, and as soon as she got up to the small rat range, she's growing very quick. I named him Vicious because when I got him, as soon as I opened the bag, he snapped at me. Of course, I picked him out, and he was in a little snake bag for 5 hours on the trip home, because I actually drove to Louisville to get these guys. And when he snapped at me, I said, "Ooh, you're a vicious little booger, aren't you?" And so I named him Vicious. But that was the only time he ever snapped at me, and we can all understand that you would be pretty upset if you were in a bag for 5 hours too. Now he's got a really dark, beautiful face, and right now he has a little boo-boo right on top of his head, if you can see that little mark there. When he shed, he just got a mark on his head. He must have scraped something a little bit too hard. There's little Vicious. He's doing really good. That is Valentine, and I'm not sure how good the camera's picking up, but she's gotten pretty large. You can see her crawling on my hand there. She's 3 feet long now, and she's over 400 grams, so she's been growing very good and pretty quick. There's little Valentine. She's doing good. I have a lot of people ask about the rainbows, and they're doing good. They're just really, really hard to film. They move around a lot, and it's almost impossible to get their iridescence on film. So. She's just so unbelievably gorgeous. I named her Valentine because she had a lot of red color in her. And if she's growing at this rate, she will probably be able to breed next winter. So there's little Valentine, who is growing up to be quite a big girl.